There is a trend, especially in our generation, of, overreacting or sometimes reacting without discretion. Whenever we hear an accusation in the public about a Christian, about, a man of God or a woman of God, and sometimes we find ourselves creating teams. I'm team this, team that, and you would think we are political people. You would think we are people belonging to different political camps, and therefore we are in a fight or so. But the truth of the matter is, whenever an accusation comes in the public, or even at a local level, there are two possibilities. In Matthew 5:11, the Bible declares, "Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake." This is Jesus talking. So some people think that this promise was for a few people. Believe you me, this promise is for everybody who has a legit, authentic relationship with Jesus. Persecution, false accusation, it's part of the game. So as a Christian, when you hear or you come across, accusations and counter accusations on all forms of communication platforms, it could be social media, it could be the mainstream media, it could be hearsay, what should be the proper approach? I believe the proper approach would be, number one, to consider the possibility of Matthew 5:11, because the people we are fighting for or accusing could be in the process of enjoying this blessing, because the Lord Jesus calls it a blessing. So I wouldn't want to be a part of those who, try to interfere with someone's blessing. The other approach could be, somebody could be wrong, because we are living in the last days, because anything can happen. So, like the Bible declares that we should be as wise as serpents and as harmless as doves. I think the most appropriate approach would be to have that balanced view and minimize our words, In Matthew 12:36 thereabout, the Bible tells us that, everyone will account for every idle word that they speak. So I would rather we be cautious, because an idle word could be a word that we speak presumptuously, sentimentally, without absolute evidence. Because our evidence and truth is not from YouTube, TikTok, or any other platform. True evidence comes from revelation of the Father. Take an example of a guy, Joseph, in Egypt, in Genesis 39. He was not only sentenced, but he was convicted and sent into incarceration, in prison. I believe the media of that time would have every reason to say, come on, if he really was an innocent guy, how come he is even in prison? He's among the prisoners of the king. Therefore, take it or leave it, he must be guilty. It is only years later, after Moses comes to write the book of Genesis, that we get to know that this guy, Joseph, was framed. So have a balanced view and come out of camps, come out of sentiments, because that's what Jesus expects us to do. Blessings.